What's up, guys? Test, test, test. Okay, yeah, I have my mute button on, and I'm doing this one because the last one, everyone's gonna be like pissy about Uchiliki and all that bullshit. Look, I view this as just something like a youth conference because I used to have to go to those Mormon bullshit. I'm running out of time. I have meetings coming up and all that bullshit, so I'm just gonna summarize. The last one would have been perfect if it would have been the volume on. That's gonna be the Book of Lehi. God didn't want you to have that one. You all just weren't ready for it. You all are sinners. This is the abridged version. So when I was 17, 18, I went to a youth conference, and it was kind of fucked up. It was awesome. Also, I learned a whole lot about people at that one. All these bitches from like Utah who were super hot came and visited like the DC area, and all the DC area ones got together. And my buddy, who I was talking about before, I thought he was gonna be super mad at me because I got caught making out with his sister like third or fourth when this happened, and I thought he was gonna be like mad at me, but he wasn't. He was like, "Dude, how'd you do that?" And I was like, "What?" And he was like, "You don't understand. She's like a frigid queen. She like never does that. Like the two boyfriends she's ever had to like beg her and like plead her and like buy her things and grovel for her to like date them. And even then, she was a cold fish. She like grabbed you and wouldn't let go." And I was like, "It was her idea. I don't know what to tell you." But and NCM, he kept calling it NCM. He was like, "Dude, you're like the NCM master. Like, how do you do that? You get so much NCM." I was like, "What's NCM?" He was like, "Non-committal makeout." And I was like, "Oh shit." And this is around that time that Johnny Lingo movie came out, and his sister was like, "Come watch Johnny Lingo with me." Great NCM movie, by the way. You want some NCM? Watch Johnny Lingo with some Mormon bitches. Joseph Smith basically invented Netflix and chill. I have a prototype TV picking up ancient messages from technology of people wearing robes. I'm going to make you think these are visions from God. You should let me plow you. Netflix and chill. Mormons invented Netflix and chill. Anyways. So, what this was, a handcart trek. And the handcart trek, at the very beginning, I thought all the Mormon bitches were super hot. And they all wanted to talk to me, but then after talking to them for like a minute, munch and mingle before we went out, I thought they were all super hot, but I kind of thought they were a little crazy. They were like playing like hardball, all of them. Because we were like forming like our little like banners and drawing the banners for our handcart trek. And they didn't want any of my ideas. They're like, we're gonna be like the beautiful princesses and shit like that. And I was like, the fuck is this horse shit, right? But they were really hot. And their little like ponytails and their pigtails and their bonnets and all that bullshit and fucking big old bonnets, right? And then the hand trek started. And I remember pushing the cart, and I'm like, this isn't that bad. No technology, no food. People were like smuggling in like, you know, like pretzels and goldfish in little plastic bags, like they were going to church and shit like that. But no food, no technology. Leave everything in the car. Hand truck like we're in 1800s. So we're pushing the hand truck, and at first it's not that bad. Because like, of course they paired me with all the bitches. And there was like one other dude or some shit like that, and like a bunch of bitches. They were really hot, but they weren't pushing the hand truck. Like in the very beginning, like I would say, like in the very beginning, like they helped like push the hand truck to get it started. But then like after that, I was like, this isn't so bad. Why is it getting heavier? The fuck is this bullshit? Oh motherfuckers, this is a hill, assholes. Right? That's kind of how it was. Then, after about a mile of that, some dude rides up in a horse and is like, "Sisters, it's time for a devotional, blah 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 blah, just like Joseph and Mary and blah 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 blah." And now it's the time for the sisters to pull the handcart, and they didn't like that one. They were straight up upset, and they were like, "And the men can't help at all. Men, stand aside. All you can do is encourage them. You can't talk to them, but you could encourage them with hand signals and all that Mormon shit with all that bull. And it's supposed to be symbolic of when you pass on and the husband calls to the wife to the celestial kingdom and all that bullshit. But really, they were just what I think it was is I think fucker on the horse was like, these bitches are letting him pull the handcart all on his own. I'm gonna teach them a lesson. Thanks, bro. Johnny Lingo. Anyways. So they made the bitches pull the handcart, and they were upset. They only did it for 1,000 yards, but I remember like, and all that. They were like, and then like then after that, they were like helping actually push the handcart. But that night, I remember because they were having like a dance type thingy, and I was like, I'm not going to that. And they were like, why not? I'm like, we're out of pretzels and goldfish. Aren't you hungry? And they were like, oh, well, someone will get us food soon, right? I mean, we came all the way here from Utah. From Orem. Blah, 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 blah. Like, where's the food? I'm hungry, right? So they were having like a little bonfire dance, and I was chopping wood. I remember that. And I was actually trying to like, I chopped a bunch of wood, and I was starting to whittle like a spear tip, and I was like, maybe I should make an atlatl, one of those like things where you throw it like that, right, to like a throwing spear. So I was getting hungry, and I remember one of the girls I was non-committal making out with was like, why are you doing that? Why don't you come join the party? You're such a party pooper. You should just come meet people. And I was like, I'll meet people after we get some food. But then around that time, the dude in the horse rolled up and was like, blah, 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 blah. I brought a pig, a roast pig. And everyone was like eating the pig. And I remember some of the bitches like were getting the runs from the pig. And he was like, devotional, the time I went to a mission in Hawaii, blah, blah, blah. That's why we have the roast pig. And then he was like, in the morning, we're gonna learn how to cut and clean animals. And they were like, what? Like, yeah, if you want to eat from now on, like in the 1800s, you gotta make your own food. And the bitches were not happy with that either. They were like, what? But I'm hungry. I came all the way from Sandy Springs, Utah. I want to eat. Or whatever the fuck, right? I'm not trying to bring up any hardships. I'm just naming places in Utah, right? Anyways, I just remember it was like a thing. There were like all the dudes were like laughing, and all the bitches were like forming like unions and like complaining and like, no, we demand, and we're used, and we're accustomed, and the leaders on horseback were like, we're in the middle of the woods. What the fuck are you gonna do, right? So then in the morning, before it even got started, I knew that they were gonna be bitchy and complaining and moaning. So because they were hungry, with their hair all done, and their little ponytails still a little wet, and combing it with the, oh, I like your hair, let me comb it for you. They were like, how do we, because you had to go get the egg, and then kill the chicken, and then get the feathers off, and cook the chicken. And they were like, well, I got the egg, but I can't kill the chicken, he's so cute, I named him Clucky, and all that bullshit. I was like, wakak, cook that. And then, like, the next bitch was like, I was like, wakak, cook that. And I just got into a rhythm of like killing the chickens and cleaning the chickens and I was even like gutting the chickens and pulling the guts out and all that bullshit. I cut one chicken's head off wrong, and it was honking, and I was playing football with that, and everyone thought that was like kind of a douchey move, but I didn't really give a fuck. I just remember after all the bitches had eaten the chickens that I had cooked, that I had cleaned for them, they started giving me like, oh, I made you some chicken breast. Oh, I made you a chicken leg. Oh, I made you some pancakes with the eggs and some flour. And I was like, word. Then I ate like 3 breakfasts. And the entire rest of the day, while we were like camping out and appreciating nature, they called it self-study, where you go study the Book of Mormon on your own. Dude, you don't understand. I was like walking, I was like, I'm on Helaman. I'm going to go read Helaman chapter 10. And I'm like walking, and like one bitch would like pull me. I'm like, oh shit, right? And I'm like, oh, thanks. And then like, I'm like, well, I got to read Helaman chapter 10. Oh shit, like, it's just like the time when I had a vision when I was 9. I would meet someone like you. Oh, thanks. I have to go read Helaman chapter 10. Oh, shit, we can't tell them about that one. Oh, thanks. Thanks. How old are you again? Jesus, what the fuck? And it was like that the entire day. That's why my buddy who became a billionaire was like, how did you do it? And I was like, what? He was like, how did you get so much non-committal makeout? I was like, I was hungry and I was going to go hunting. But then they brought the pig and the chickens and they were making so much noise, I figured if I just killed all the chickens for them, they would shut the fuck up. I didn't get to read Helaman chapter 10 until I got home. This is just like that. I view all this P. Diddy bullshit as just like that. I was just cutting and cleaning the chickens so Stephanie would shut the fuck up because I have other things I want to do. Have a good day.